Hi, everybody. Hello, hello. Happy New Year. Happy 2019 to everybody joining now. I am Jocelyn Mercado. I'm the founder of Sacred Planet, and today I am really, really excited to join with you on the first day of our brand new year and share 3 ways that earth-based, indigenous, and shamanic wisdom can provide the answers that we need right now. So as you're joining, go ahead and put your name and location in the chat. Let me type that in here. Hi, Colleen. Hi, Jean. Hi, Deborah. Happy New Year. Hi, Mary. Hi, Rose in Austria. Hi, Lisa from Jacksonville. Hi, Phoebe, Stacy, Chris, Mallory, Kate. Happy New Year. Yay. So glad to see all of you on here. Wonderful, wonderful. Yay, yay, yay. Hi, everybody. And thank you so much for joining me today. I know this is a day where hopefully lots of people have off work, which is wonderful. And I know you have lots of other things that you could be doing. So I just send a really, really heartfelt thanks to you for joining me live today and letting me be a little part of your day on this New Year's Day. Hi, Karen. Hi, Marjorie. Hi, Gloria. Welcome, welcome to everybody. Welcome. So I am really excited to share this with you. This is something that just kind of came through really strongly over the past couple of days. And so it feels important. Hi, Joseph. Feels important to share. And so I want to really spend this time with you. And I set this up on Zoom rather than as a YouTube live because I wanted to have the interaction and I wanted to let you all be able to raise your hand or post in the chat and ask questions afterwards. So we'll have a really good, fun, interactive call here today. So, well, the first thing I want to say is, once again, Happy New Year and welcome to 2019. And if you have survived 2016, 2017, and 2018, then you are doing something right because we have really been tested, right? We have really been challenged. Our courage, our character, our willpower, and our strength have been challenged over these past 3 years. And it's not a mistake. It's not all for nothing. Of course, there's a higher purpose to all of this. We're being guided, we're being led, we're being strengthened, and we're being called to heal ourselves on all levels so that we'll be ready for what's coming next. And 2019 and 2020 are going to be really powerful years. And I'm not going to say it's going to be so much easier, because that's not how it works, right? It's not that it's going to be easier, but what I have heard over the past few weeks from a number of different mystics and astrologers and psychics that I trust, is that 2019 is going to be a year of new beginnings. And it's really going to be a year to take all of the healing that we've done, all of the shadows that we've been exploring, all of the challenges that we faced and the lessons that we've learned from those, and really begin to create, really have the opportunity to start creating something new, both on an individual level in our personal lives, but also on a collective. So I think we're going to see a lot of building, a lot of creating, a lot of new beginnings. That's kind of the messages and the energetics that seem to be coming forth in this new year that everybody is really agreeing on. So I also wanted to read you a quote from Malada Gebermenon in an email that she sent out just yesterday. This is a really beautiful quote. So she says, in 2018, we have all been through so much, both personally and collectively. The veils have been parted, and many times we have become disillusioned in our relationship to the human world. So for many of us, it's more than just a little difficult to jump on the old bandwagon of the New Year paradigm, the one that says everything can start over now. We see how this is just a part of the outdated fast food spiritual programming. And we cannot simply change our thought patterns and decide or intend or resolve our way into a new life for ourselves and all. It takes so very much more than that. And I think that's what we've been learning over these past few years is the depth and the healing work that needs to be done in order to really create something new. And so Malada goes on to say, however, we want to be careful not to throw the baby out with the bathwater, and in our disillusionment, forego the cosmic assistance which is raining down throughout our planetary field to help us through. For it is in the alchemy of the omnipresent divine and the rising up of our human souls that the revolution happens within and without. And I feel that so strongly right now, the rising up of the human souls, the rising up of our spirits within to say, you know what, it's been challenging and we can do this, we can handle this, and we already are building something new and amazing, and we're going to continue to do so in just amazing, amazing ways. So, hi Erhard, Happy New Year. So glad you can join us here today. So, this new year, as I've shared in previous videos that I've created recently, is really an especially potent time. It's energetically and astrologically, and just I think what we're all feeling in our hearts right now, a very, very potent time to plant the seeds for what our hearts and our souls truly want to create, and for how we really want to build our lives and build our society in 2019 and 2020. And I think that it's clear that 2019 and 2020 are both going to be really powerful years for change to be solidified on our physical plane. So we've kind of been going through all of this, you know, so many people having this experience of a spiritual awakening and knowing that they need to heal and doing some really, really deep work, or going through really challenging circumstances that are helping us to heal in all these different ways. And it's like it's going to start to be much more solidified and made physical, all of these changes that are happening and the new that we're building and bringing forth. So what I want to talk about today is about what you want to create going forward in 2019 and 2020 and beyond, and how earth-based and indigenous and shamanic ways of living and knowing can provide the answers both that you need in your life and that we all need collectively right now. So as I mentioned in the email announcement, a few things that we're going to cover today and a few things that you'll learn about is, first of all, the single most common reason that we often don't pursue our most important dreams, and how this reason is profoundly affecting us both personally and collectively. Also, how to receive solutions that are far beyond what our thinking mind can even perceive. And what to do when you're feeling scared or when things are not going as you had hoped or as you had expected. And also how to respond when you receive a calling to step outside of what society deems acceptable or logical, which I know probably many, many people who are on this call are going through that or have been going through that recently. And of course, I'm going to share those 3 ways that earth-based and indigenous ways of living and knowing can provide the answers that we really, really need right now. So first of all, as we get started, I want to ask you, what is it that has stopped you from pursuing your dreams in the past? And is it possibly because you didn't know how to make it happen? Is it because maybe you doubted yourself, or you doubted your abilities to bring it all into fruition, or you couldn't see the steps, like you couldn't figure out the actual action steps to really make it happen? This is the single most pervasive reason why people don't take action in the direction of what they truly want. They feel, so often we feel like we are blocked from what we know we're meant to do, right? Or what we feel a deep longing to do, because we don't know the how. We don't know what is step 1, what is step 2, what is step 3 that I can actually make this happen. Or we don't trust ourselves to have what it takes to actually carry it out. So just think back on any of the potentially amazing things that you wanted to pursue at some point in your life, but you didn't pursue for this very reason, right? How many New Year's resolutions didn't come to fruition because you had a big idea but couldn't figure out how to actually bring it into physical reality, right? The step 1, step 2, step 3 just was not becoming clear. That's on a personal level how this happens. And on a bigger global level, how many people are wanting to take action for the earth right now, but are getting stuck and stalled because they can't figure out exactly what to do? Like receiving these big visions of how we need to do healing or how we need to form communities, but not getting clear on how to bring this into concrete reality. And so it stays in the visionary place and it doesn't get created, right? How huge is the level at which this is happening right now? And the fact is, we don't always have to know the how, at least not right away. And very, very often when ideas are in their initial stages or when you're in the creation phase of things, there's no possible way for you to know the how because you just haven't reached that point yet. And so in our society, we are very, very much taught that we need to take action. We need to have a plan. We need to have a strategy. We need to, right? We need to move forward with things or else it's not realistic and it's not logical. And this is where we get really, really, really tripped up. Because the way that we're meant to receive things is to receive that big vision and be in the space of that for some time and really stay with the vision for a while. And we're also meant to have access to guides and supports and spirit helpers, right? And meditations or journeying where we receive the insights, where we kind of download the information over time and it builds up. These things take time. And so often we feel rushed or we feel pushed to take action and we don't know how. And then we kind of fall off track or we lose faith in the vision. What we really need though is to stay tapped into the guidance and the support that's being provided so that we can openly receive that vision, so that we can then receive the synchronicities that want to follow the vision, that want to like back it up and give us more information, so that we can receive into our lives the opportunities that want to come through to each and every one of us. And here's something that's really important. Each and every one of us, each and every one of you listening, absolutely, I have no doubt in my mind, was sent here with a big purpose. Each and every one of us also already has everything that we need. Everything we need to heal from past pain and woundings, everything we need to bring our dream into reality, to bring forward our highest gifts and our talents, and to create a bright and positive future, both personally and for the collective. Each and every one of us already has everything we need to do that in our own unique way. There is no one alive today who is not sent here with a big purpose. But unfortunately, due to quite a vast number of factors, only very few people are really living their purpose. And it's largely because self-doubt and self-questioning and not knowing the how appear to be bigger obstacles than we can handle. And so we lose faith and we give up too soon. But what I'm here to tell you today is that there is a way to stay tapped into that guidance and support that the universe wants to send you. There is a way to keep the trust and keep the faith going and continue receiving the information over time that you really need. And to have a trust in the bigger picture of what's happening so that even if things are not going exactly as you planned or when there are setbacks, that you don't get disheartened and give up, that you stay with it, that you trust. And I'm here to tell you that there is a way to stay with the process long enough to receive not only the initial vision, but also the how, and even to receive very specific instructions on how you are meant to move forward with whatever mission or project was given to you, to know when the timing is right to take action. And there is a way to feel a trust deep, deep inside of you that you truly do have everything it takes to really make it happen. So this brings me to sharing with you the 3 ways that earth-based and indigenous and shamanic ways of living and knowing are going to provide us with what we need, with what you need, with what we all need right now. So number 1 is that earth-based, indigenous, and shamanic ways of living and knowing give us answers that we otherwise could not possibly have access to on this human, physical plane level. So often when we receive a vision or we receive a big idea, we spend a little time immersing in the magic of it, but then we put it on the back burner because, it's not realistic, or it doesn't fit into the accepted models for how to live in our society, or maybe our friends and family, wouldn't approve of it, right? Whatever the reasons are that it doesn't quite fit in. But when we have a regular practice of connecting with the higher intelligence of the universe, and when we have established and opened up a very, very clear channel through which we can truly hear our intuition and receive the advice from our guides and protectors, and when we can fully, fully trust what they are telling us, then we gain the ability to perceive solutions and ways of doing things that are far beyond what our logical thinking mind can perceive of. And this is very, very deeply needed in our times. On a personal level, it's needed because we need to be able to come up with outside of the box ways to solve our personal problems. For example, to heal our bodies from something that science says is uncurable, or to heal from something that science can't identify. Like, so many people are going to the doctor now with different symptoms, right? And the doctor is saying, I don't know what's going on. Your tests come back normal. Even though you have these symptoms, we don't know what to tell you, right? So clearly, on a health level, if nothing else, we're being asked to look at outside of the box ways to solve our problems. We also need to use this outside of the logical mind thinking when we are creating something like a new business or a new movement, or a new way of healing people, or a new way of healing the earth. We really need this just ability to open up to the so much more that is possible that our logical thinking minds cannot quite grasp. And we also need this on a collective level, because as we can clearly see, all of the old and accepted ways of doing things are no longer working. That's why the systems are crumbling, right? Politically, economically, educationally. We desperately need new ways. We need unprecedented ideas that no one's ever had before. And we need never before seen initiatives in order to solve these global issues that we are facing right now. And when we are consistently putting ourselves in a space of earth-based, indigenous, and shamanic ways of living and knowing, which is a space of ritual or ceremony or deep spiritual practices in which we can receive the messages from the unseen realms that take us beyond what our thinking minds can comprehend, when we're receiving information from beings and helping spirits which are able to perceive and know things that our minds cannot perceive, then we are going to be much more able to step out of those old ways of thinking. We're going to be so much more able to really let go of how others might judge us. And we're going to be so much more able to move forward with taking action in new ways, in unprecedented ways that can truly make a difference for ourselves and for our world. So that brings me to number 2. When we practice earth-based, indigenous, and shamanic ways of living and knowing, we naturally receive proof and synchronicities and signs to know that we're on the right track. And this is not a mistake, right? These things that happen, we know when they happen to us, they're not coincidences. It's little things. It's little tiny things, like when you go throughout the day and 3 different times throughout the day, you see 11, 11, 11, right? It's these little signs that come to us. Now, so I'll share with you on a personal note, I've been searching for what my 2019 motto is going to be. I always like to come up with what my motto is going to be for the year. And the answer came to me just a couple of days ago, at a time when I was really, really tuning into my heart and into my intuition. And the guiding principle that I know now that I'm going to live by and make all my decisions in alignment with for 2019 is trust. And if you want to create a motto for yourself for 2019, it's really good if you can get it down to one word or maybe like 3 words max. You want it to be very concise and just sum up really, really clear. Yeah. So go ahead and put those in the chat if you would like to. Thank you, Lisa. Truth. I love it. Go ahead, and if you have a 2019 motto, or if you're getting an intuitive hit right now on what your 2019 motto should be, 3 words or less, go ahead and put that in the chat. I would love to see those. Okay. So remember and trust. Peace. Creation. Yes, love it, Shirley. Living wisdom. Love it. Believe. Rewilding. To love God more. Beautiful. Live ethically, gently, and do no harm. Summon. Yes, powerful. Go with the flow. Surrender. Beautiful. I love these. Thank you so much for sharing these. Yay. Okay, fantastic. I love that everybody is focused and has their motto. Beautiful, beautiful. So this one that came through for me of trust. I know that I already have, really and truly, over the past few years, I have moved fully into this space of deep, deep trust. And it's not a trust that everything's going to go right all the time, right? It's like the opposite of that. It's about even when things are not going the way that I would have wanted, right? Or when I had plans for something and it went completely off in a different direction than what I expected or needed. To trust that there is something bigger happening here, that there is a bigger picture that I can't, from my own human viewpoint, I can't see it. But I know that there is something bigger going on, and that by things going in a different direction than I thought, I'm actually being guided even more quickly and efficiently to where I really need to go. And I have developed this trust over time, not only because one reason is that because I've had really powerful experiences that have confirmed in physical reality exactly what I had previously received in visions and meditations. But it's not only that, it's also because there is this continual cycle of receiving all kinds of tiny signs and synchronicities all throughout the day, right? Pretty much every single day. When I'm tuned in, when I'm connected and in the space of receiving these things, they come through in just amazing ways, and often tiny little ways, but really amazingly. And I'm sure many, many of you are having this experience too. And I've come to realize that these are like a form of proof that I'm on the right track, right? I can't explain some of the magical events that are happening, right, that constantly surround me, but I know that they're not a coincidence. And there are little things or intuitive hits that come through that are helping me know when it's time to act versus when it's time to rest. Like to know that I should do this webinar today, right? That was very, very clear. Like there was no question, very, very clear. Or that helped me figure out all sorts of things from parenting to business decisions to what to eat for dinner. I am in this space of really, really allowing myself to be very guided. And I know that I am enveloped at all times by this larger energetic field that is friendly and supportive and that wants me to fulfill my highest purpose. And I know that when I can stop worrying and really have faith and trust in this guidance, that I truly have nothing to worry about. And that is so, so true for all of us, for every single one of us. The next steps will be given. Resources will come through when they are most needed. and so on. And there have been plenty of times when it has not been perfect, when the next steps were not apparent, right? And I didn't know what to do, and I didn't know what action to take. But at those times when I can really, really access that trust, I know that not knowing the next steps at that point is for a reason. I'm not meant to move forward on that yet. And then later on, the steps become clear, or other steps show up that are completely different from what I thought I was supposed to be doing. But then when I receive that, I can move forward, right? And it's always on divine timing. It's not on human timing. It may or may not be the timing that you want. So even when things are not going as we want them to, we can still have this trust in the bigger picture, in the bigger plan. And that really and truly makes all the difference. And also, even when we don't think that we personally have what it takes to go for a big dream or to make something new happen in our lives, when we have this trust and when we have this deep, deep connection to our guides and our ancestors and our angels, to that support system that surrounds us, then we can trust that they're going to provide us with exactly everything that we need to move forward and to carry out our mission. What I've really, really, truly, deeply come to believe is that, our guides and our creator don't want us to have to go on blind faith all the time. Like, they are sympathetic to the fact that our logical human minds want evidence and want signs and want proof. Every once in a while, they kind of know that we need this on a human level. And so they send these signs and synchronicities through birds and through numbers and through when the wind kicks up, in amazing ways. But we do have to be really deeply tapped in order to see that evidence. And so a regular practice where you are connecting with the unseen realms through earth-based and indigenous and shamanic ways of knowing will give you this connection so that you never have to doubt again, so that you can really and truly live in a continual state of deep, deep trust. Okay, so that was number 2. It's all about trust and receiving the evidence. So 3, the third way that the earth-based, indigenous, and shamanic ways of living and knowing can provide what we need right now is that our unseen guides and angels and ancestors are really trying, they're really working pretty hard to show us how to solve our global problems right now. And we really need to open up to these messages and respond to them, not just hear the messages and tuck them in our back pocket, but respond in dynamic ways. And when we are engaging with the living world from a perspective of earth-based and indigenous ways of living and being, we will be able to respond. So I want to ask you something, and I want to have everybody comment in the chat in a little bit here. How many of you have received dreams or insights or visions about ways to connect with and heal the land? And how many of you have received dreams or insights or visions about gathering people on the land and holding healing ceremonies that would heal and transform both the people and the earth? And how many of you have been called to be a healer? How many of you have been taken completely off of an old path that you thought for so many years or even decades was the right path, and now you're being called to be a healer? How many of you have been called to protect the earth and the plants and animals in some way? And how many of you have heard the voice of Mother Earth or a higher form of intelligence speaking through you? So many people are having these experiences right now. And it is not a mistake. It is the furthest thing from a mistake, because we are all, every single one of us who will listen, who is tuned in, are being called to bring forth new methods of healing people, healing and protecting other living beings, and healing and protecting the earth. And the requests and suggestions that we are receiving from Mother Earth and from other higher forms of intelligence are getting louder and louder. I'd be willing to bet that every single person on this call has had some type of experience related to this. So type yes in the comments if you have. Yes, yes, yes. I see these beautiful comments. Yes, I hear you, Francesca. I have been a hidden healer, staying small out of fear. Yes, don't worry. You will find your courage. Yes, yes, yes. So many yeses. Yeah, I think every single one of us, right? It's absolutely incredible. Absolutely incredible how this information is coming through in such powerful ways that we cannot ignore or put it on the shelf any longer. Yeah, yes, yes. So much energy is coming through right now. I'm just really, really feeling this so strongly from all of you. So here's the thing, everyone. Here's what I want to say to you right now. We need to respond. And many of you are already responding in amazing ways, right? And following this path that you've been given in absolutely incredible ways. And many of us too are feeling afraid or feeling stalled or hung up in some way. But I feel like in this year and definitely in the next 2 years, we're going to be receiving so much in the way of courage and action steps and ways to move forward that we're going to be able to respond in a really, really big way. And that's going to be a huge part of building the new that we need to. You know, we need to create communities in which we can really support one another. That's one thing that I'm trying to do through Sacred Planet, and hopefully succeeding, right? In which we can support one another in responding to these requests and suggestions from the unseen realms and from Mother Earth. And we need to finely tune our bodies and minds. We need to heal ourselves. We need to be sure to be drinking clean, pure water and eating the healthiest foods so that our bodies will be like a finely tuned instrument in order to really receive and comprehend and be able to internalize the messages through our human perception and understanding, to receive these messages from a much higher intelligence. And we need to open up to a reciprocal relationship in which we are in constant communication, constant giving and receiving with the unseen forces that surround us. We need to continue to be open to the refining of those messages, because so often we receive a message and then 3 days later already it's along the same lines, but it's already shifted and changed so much, right? We need to be open to the refining of those messages as it comes through. And when we can really reach this state, we will be able to receive those specific instructions and the action steps and the how that we were missing before, which will tell us in great detail what we need to do. This is how the new world is going to be created. But first, we've got to fully open up to the ancient and indigenous ways of knowing. Open up to the earth, which wants to guide, who wants to guide and help us. And open up to the voices of our ancestors who have wisdom to share with us. And even perhaps to the voices of our descendants, those who will be inheriting the earth from us. There's a teacher who shares that, that we can also, we don't have to only journey to speak with our ancestors. We can also journey forward in time and speak with our descendants, our children's 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 children, those who will inherit the earth from us, and ask them what we need to do now, right? Because they can see it from a very, very different vantage point than we can, and a different vantage point than our ancestors can. They can see clearly from that point in the future what has happened, what has come to pass, and they can give us information on what to do now. It's very, very powerful. So to do this, in order to really open up to these ancient and indigenous and shamanic ways of knowing, it doesn't mean that we need to subscribe to one ancient lineage, right? And it doesn't mean copying what another practitioner is doing. What it really means for each and every one of us is connecting with our individual intuitive knowing and connecting with the guides and helpers who are there for each of us as individuals, and connecting with the ancestral knowing or even the knowing of our descendants that is connected with and embedded into our own blood and our own individual DNA. And to find the way of cultivating your own shamanic and earth-based practices and your own shamanic and earth-based life that is right for you. That is my invitation to you today. And this will be very different and unique for each and every one of us. And it's meant to be that way, right? Even just as every single snowflake is completely unique. No two snowflakes are the same. No two leaves on the trees are the same, right? And every single human being is so unique and different. You know, in a crowd of 1,000 people, you would recognize the voice of one person that you know. We are all so different in every way, and yet we are the same. It's incredible. There are no two things that are exactly the same in all of the universe that were created through natural forces. So if practices and ways of connecting with the unseen realms that you've tried before haven't truly resonated or didn't seem successful for you, or if you weren't able to stick with them on a consistent basis over time, it's likely because you weren't given options for enough flexibility to really find out what was truly right for you. And so my invitation to you today, if you'd like to create your very own unique practices and rituals to fully support you in connecting with the unseen realms for guidance and protection, and if you've been receiving messages and instructions, but you've been stuck either in fear or because you can't figure out how it's meant to actually come together, or if you know that you need to move beyond solving problems with your logical, rational mind and enter into a state of greater awareness where you can receive answers that you would otherwise never have access to. And if you want to really understand how you are being called to take action on behalf of our planet and all of life in a more specific way so that you really will know what you need to do next, then I invite you to check out my new 7-week program, which is called Rooting in Shamanic Earth Wisdom. This is a 7-week immersive experience in which you'll receive the guidance and support from me to create your very own unique practices and rituals to really fully support you in connecting with the unseen realms for guidance and protection, to deepen so much into your spiritual practices in ways that will feel really joyful and uplifting for you so that you can finally understand how you are meant to take action. Finally receive that how. And to gain access to answers far beyond your logical thinking mind, to receive signs and proof from the universe, and to really gain a much deeper understanding of your true soul's mission. And to create a deep and lasting reciprocal relationship and connection with the living world and with your guides and helping spirits, so that you can have a deep, deep trust in your path and in your own abilities to move forward with your mission and never have to doubt yourself again. So if you'd like to learn more about my course, Rooting in Shamanic Earth Wisdom, there are 2 options for you to do so. And I'm going to put these 2 links into the chat here so that you can easily click through. So you can either go to the number 1 link there, go to this page, which includes a 15-minute video that explains all about the course and what is included. I'm not going to go through a detailed play-by-play here in this webinar. This one, I really wanted this to be about the 3 ways, right, that ancient and indigenous and shamanic ways of knowing can guide us. But if you'd like to learn more about the course, you can either go to that first link and watch the video, or you can go to that second link there and read the full details. And the second link will give you a link to register. I want you to know whether you participate in my course or not, that there is a way to receive the vision and the downloads and the synchronicities that are beyond anything that you would ever have thought possible. And every single one of us have access to this. Every single one of us have this as our birthright, to connect into those higher forms of intelligence and to receive all of the information that we need to fully live our true purpose, right? And to take action and to have the courage to do that, right? And in creating this program, Rooting in Shamanic Earth Wisdom, I'm certainly not claiming by any means to have all of the answers, right? But what I do have that I want to share with you and inspire you with is I have had so many life experiences in which what I saw and received from unseen realms came through and manifested in amazing ways in physical form, in ways that I would never have believed until I actually experienced it for myself. And I want you to have that experience too, in your own way, right? In the way that is right for you. And this is truly what has changed my life on all levels. This is what has allowed me to heal from anxiety and depression. It has allowed me to create Sacred Planet. And it's what is allowing me to have this amazing opportunity to be talking with you all now in a global gathering with over 100 of you all around the world today. And many more will listen to this as a recording, right? And so I want for you to have access to this information so that you can go out and create exactly what you are meant to. I want to share this information with you because we are all so deeply needed right now. And we all need to take action and change the world, each in our own way, both on an individual personal healing level, and then whatever we do next after that healing ripples out into the world in positive and significant ways. And I really want to get you started off powerfully in 2019 with unique and inspiring practices and rituals that are perfect for you and which are sourced from your own inner knowing, your own ancestral wisdom, and that provide exactly the type of support that you most need to live your most joyful and fulfilling and amazing life in 2019 and beyond. And not only that, but also to know that you are making a significant positive difference in the world. So go ahead and check out my 15-minute video there in the first item in the chat, or check out the full details and register in the second item in the chat. And now, yay, Anne, welcome. I'm so glad. Yeah, we have so many really just amazing people all around the world signing up for this course. I'm so excited to begin this course. It starts on January 7th, and it's going to run for 7 weeks. And it's going to be very, very different from anything that I have offered before. So I really, really can't wait. The 15-minute video is a great way to learn all the details about it. So I want to open up the forum here for you to ask questions if you have any questions, or if you would like to share your own experiences. The same way the course is going to be, it's not just about me talking, right? It's about your experiences. It's about what you are called to do. It's about how you are navigating these times. And so I want to open this up now for you to ask any questions or share about your experiences, either in the chat, or you can raise your hand and share or ask a question. So go ahead and do that now. If you'd like to raise your hand, if you just move either touch the screen if you're on a tablet or phone, or just move your cursor around if you're on a computer, and you'll see a raise hand icon that will pop up when you move around or tap the screen. And if you click on that raise hand option, it will raise your hand, and then I can bring you over to chat with me here on video or audio. Okay, great, Colleen. I see you raising your hand. Let me bring you over. And then if anybody doesn't want to raise your hand, you are welcome to put anything in the chat that you'd like to share or questions you want to ask. Okay, Colleen, I'm going to bring you over now. Let's see. Hi, Colleen. We can't.
Hi, Justin. Will these two URLs be available after the webinar?
Yes, yes, that's a great question. I'm going to send an email with the recording of this call out to everybody, and then I will include both of those links in that email. Can you hear me okay?
Thank you.
Okay, good. Yeah, absolutely. Did you have
that's fine.
anything you wanted to share or question other than that one?
No, well, basically, this is just what I wanted to know, if the URLs would be available. Okay. And also, thank you for everything that you've done for us during 2018.
Thank you so much, Colleen. It has been my pleasure. Thank you for tuning in and being an active participant in so many of these live webinars. It's really, really wonderful. It's been a pleasure to have you on here.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you. And I hope to see you in the course. I'd love to have you there.
Thanks.
Have a beautiful 2019, Colleen.
And you and the rest of the panelists as well.
Thank you.
People. Yeah.
So much. Okay, wonderful. Thank you, Colleen. Okay. Yeah, anybody have any questions? You know, we don't need to do Q&A, but I wanted to make it available in case anybody has anything at all to share. So last call for questions, last call to raise your hand. I think everybody is deep in thought right now. I know I have been for the whole last week or two. And it's interesting, this time of year, you know, in the Northern Hemisphere, we are certainly called to be in the dreaming space, right? And to be in the space of receiving those visions and receiving the dreams. So I know we're all in that really deep space right now, I think. Thank you, Francesca. Thank you. I can't wait to see you in the class too. I know you're going to be in there. Lisa, sessions available offline. So yes, the way, this is the way that I've been running most of my classes because it seems to work really well. We will have, in Rooting in Shamanic Earth Wisdom, as a class, we will have a meeting, a live call every week. The calls will be, let me tell you schedule-wise, they will be on Mondays, starting on January 7th at 2 p.m. New York time. But if you cannot attend live at that time, it's completely fine because I will send out the recording afterwards, definitely within 24 hours, often much, much quicker than that. Okay, Gabrielle, I'll make sure that you get a recording of this. So I will send a recording of every class session out as soon as I possibly can after the live call. So you'll receive the recording. You'll be able to fully watch the recording. You can download it if you want, or you can just watch it online, whatever you prefer. And of course, there will be, well, it's going to be, this is going to be done in a very, very different way, but there will be practices, or there will be one key core practice for you to bring into your life after every weekly session. But it's going to be very different than like homework or other things that we've done before. It's going to be a way for you to really create something very, very new and different that will be perfect for you. So it's going to be very, very customized to each and every one of you. And so yes, you'll be able to receive the recordings of the class, you know, after the class. You don't have to attend live. If you can't attend live at 2 p.m. New York time on Mondays, that is totally fine. You won't be missing out on anything. You'll be able to get the full course content. Okay. Oh, thank you so much, Mallory. Thank you. It's a pleasure to have you in this community, Mallory. You have been so active in many of these events as well. So thank you so much. Erhard, let me read your note here. What has been a developing experience to me has been to be in the wilderness often. Wonderful. Even if it takes a lot of visits out there to take my rational mind down to the heart, it is slowly happening. That is so beautiful, Erhard, and that is such a key aspect of what we need to be doing right now. And we can, you know, it's very interesting. You know, so much of what we need to be doing should not be on the computer, right? This is something I've been receiving very strongly, but I feel like the internet, this global community that we can form is also such an important aspect of it, right? So we can come together in community, we can gather together and learn together and support one another. and then go out and do our individual practices in all different ways. And that makes it so powerful. And then we come back together, right? We gather our energy together again globally. Such incredible energy comes through during these calls, these group calls that we have. And then again, we can go out and in our own way do our practices. So, so powerful. So I'm really, really looking forward to this. And Erhard, I'm so glad you've been able to get out into the wilderness and really feel that deepening. Okay. Well, thank you all for your kind words here. Yeah. And I just want to say to you, thank you for being a part of the Sacred Planet community in 2018. And I just so look forward to gathering with you and creating so much new in 2019 together with all of you. It's about all of us coming together in these amazing ways all around the world. This has been such an inspiration to me, and I hope it is to you too. So thank you all for being a part of it. And I wish every single one of you watching this live, and also those of you watching it as a recording later, a joyful and peaceful and really amazing 2019. And I wish you the courage and the instructions that you need to create what you are deeply called to create in 2019. Many, many, many bright blessings to all of you. Happy New Year. Lots of love. Mwah. Sending that out to all of you. And I hope that I'll see lots and lots of you in the course. Can't wait to be on that journey with those who feel called to it. As I said, I'll send out more information on that in the email that includes the recording of this call. So you'll see that later. Okay. Lots of love to all of you. Bye. Have a wonderful New Year's Day and a bright and happy New Year 2019.